Hey guys, Shalana here. Welcome to the Binge Zone. On today's video, we're going to be talking about Castlevania Season 3. And we know at the end of Season 2, Dracula was killed. But with the death of Dracula, all hell has literally broken loose throughout this season. And this season takes place a month or two after that. So we're seeing the fresh aftermaths of a post-Dracula world. And our main characters have to navigate that world. So let's start off with Alucard. Last we saw Alucard, he was a mess. He just killed his father. He was crying in shambles in Dracula's castle. And now Alucard is literally alone. He killed his father. His friends have left him. And now he's essentially roaming his father's domain alone. And that suffering is deep. Because remember, Alucard is also part human. So the fact that he's part human, the emotions are strong within him. Where Dracula can keep himself isolated and just be bored, Alucard feels that lack of humanity, that lack of community, because as humans we're innate communal creatures, and Alucard being half human is also half innate communal. So him being isolated does not work for him. And what makes it worse for Alucard is when he finally gets some human interaction, he finally meets people that he actually likes and he can become intimate and close with. They betray him in the last minute, and Alucard is reminded just how ignorant humans can be. And remember, that is also what Dracula went through. Because remember, Dracula opened up to humans. He married a human, and then the ignorance of humanity killed his wife, which set him upon this path. So I could see Alucard going down the path of Dracula, which would be insane, because Alucard, while human, is still vampire, and he still has Dracula's blood and powers, and he's technically the strongest vampire alive if you think about it, being the direct descendant and the direct progeny of Dracula. But on the flip side, we have Trevor and Sypha. Their ordeals are a lot more lighthearted than Alucard's. Because remember, Trevor was once isolated and alone as well, but ever since he got with Sypha in Season 1, they've been pretty much inseparable, and now they're pretty much a couple, an item. And they're going on adventures, they're having fun, they're handling this pretty well because he is a monster hunter, she is a magician, so they can tackle some problems pretty well. And she loves this adventure lifestyle that Trevor's been living. However, there's a deep, dark underbelly to all that adventuring. The reality is it actually affects humans more than you know. And Sypha was having fun until the end of this season, when she realizes that monsters aren't just the only monsters. Humans are monsters as well, when we see what the judge is doing and we see what other characters are doing throughout the season. So that goes to show both our protagonist teams, Alucard and Team Trevor, are meeting human disgustingness and darkness, which is what prompted Dracula's entire war in the first place. So this season shows us overall just how terrible humans are. And on the flip side, when we look at the villains, Camilla and her four sisters, granted, they want to dominate the world. But with that being said, they're not as cruel as the humans are coming off as. And then you have Isaac on the other hand. Isaac is traversing for his revenge against Hector and Camilla. But the thing is, Isaac again is meeting nice people, and then human cruelty is showing him just how bad humans are. The overall theme of this season would have to be the cruelty of humans, because no matter what happens, every storyline deals with the cruelty of humans. You have Alucard's storyline and there's two siblings. You see what happens there. You have Trevor and Sypha. Everything they did to save a town that was actually being killed by, that was actually being plagued long before the monsters came, by a devilish human. And then you have Isaac, who every stop he goes to, he meets an evil, wicked human. And then you have on the vampire side, you have Carmilla and her sisters, and they're showing Hector, well, Lenore at least is showing Hector how the vampires are not that cruel, how they can help him, and they're showing him kindness to a certain degree. Granted, they're vampires, so they're not lovey-dovey, buddy-buddy, but they are showing him kindness. So the overall theme is the cruelty of humans. While we think the monsters are monsters, we humans are also very monstrous, and might be even more so because we're doing it to our own kind. We're doing it to our own fellow brethren. And that's the overall theme and ending of Season 2. And Season 3 looks like it's going to be a doozy, because at this point, these characters are at different spaces in their life. Alucard is more alone. Alucard is more turning into his father, if you will. And if you have that, if you have Alucard, aka Dracula spelled backwards, on a revenge path like his father, we can be in for a big, messy awakening. At the same time, Sypha is learning how real and cruel the world is, and she's starting to see the world through jaded eyes like Trevor. And that can be tough because she is Trevor's balance. So if she goes down his path, a lot can happen there. And then Isaac is finally on his way with his army to meet Camilla's army. And that's going to be the epicenter of the third season. The clash between two different monsters, vampires and humans, fighting. Isaac is a monster, make no mistake about that. And Camilla is a literal monster. She's a vampire. So that clash we'll see. And we're going to see the true cruelness of humans or vampires next season. Anyway, guys, let me know what you thought about this season in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. And until next time, binge on.